ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you in-betweeners. We have ourselves another wrestling match here, Backyard Wrestling. This is Jawbers Barbecue, or Jawbercue, hosted by Big D and Max Jaw.
Yo.
And this is from P.O.R Wrestling. It is the name of the match is Insane Backyard Wrestling Match Extreme Fatal 4-Way. So it doesn't really tell us where the contestants are. And it doesn't really name the wrestling company or federation or corporation. What would you call it? What would you call that? Like P.O.R, just P.O.R. Okay. So it's just it's their own little organization or big organization. It is under P.O.R Wrestling. That's P.O.R Wrestling. And when I just want to say that I'm not sure if these guys are aware, but you don't have to put the dots on there. Well, I that's so when we were doing backyard wrestling, way back in the day, our company's name was, or our little federation's name was XLW, or Extreme League Wrestling, and my dumbass kept writing X.L.W. for the longest time on everything, and finally my buddy's like, listen, WWF doesn't do it, WCW doesn't do it, and it's still an acronym, so you could, or not an acronym, but a whatever, just the first letter. Is that an acronym? Yeah, it's an acronym. Anyway, we don't have to do dots. You don't have to do dots. And I realize, and like they're still doing it. P.O.R Wrestling, they're still doing it. But anyway, this is an insane backyard wrestling match, extreme fatal 4-way, and it's between the JJ Escobar, Judas The Minister, JC Extreme, and Jamal The Wizard, which all come out in that order. So, do you want me to read the synopsis of the match?
You don't have to.
Okay.
You pretty much just did.
Yeah, I did. It is arguably the four best performers. I'm not reading
it was unique, though. It was unique. It was a two-fall match.
It was a two-fall match.
So there's two championships on the line.
So the champion. So what we got? We got the World Heavyweight Championship, and we have the P.O.R Die Nasty Hardcore Championship, which I think is pretty creative. Their title was a license plate. Like,
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Like as a hardcore championship.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, these guys were definitely creative. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
So we had JC Extreme.
Yep.
Entering the match as the P.O.R Dynasty Hardcore Champion, and then Jamal the Wizard as he was coming in as the P.O.R World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, and they all came out of a
bus. The P.O.R bus.
Yes, and considering how much construction they did all around their site, I don't know if it's the word construction or maybe deconstruction. It was surprising to me that the P.O.R tag was so small on that bus. I was expecting a gigantic P.O.R tag. You know what I mean? I was expecting like P.O.R just boom.
Compared to the 4-year-old that drew it, it was huge.
Oh, I see. So like even 10 times huge. Oh man. Okay, so I don't even know where to start with this match, man. The setting was unique. There's a lot of talk about, in the comments we read some stuff which was pretty funny, and they were making fun of these guys. About trailer parks and all that business. But they had a crowd, they had an audience. They had old people, young people. They were definitely barbecuing. They were grilling. I'm surprised that the grill did not come into play at any time during this match. That was surprising because that was like the first thing you saw once they zoomed out from the first entrance.
Right.
So I'm surprised nobody caught anybody on fire.
The first, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, 8 minutes was mostly in the ring. You know, everyone had like the little spots, mainly JC Extreme jumping off the ropes and all that.
Well, JC Extreme was
He was the high flyer.
He was the high flyer, and he definitely perpetuated the stereotype of the smallest guy flying around. The in-ring stuff in the beginning was probably the worst part of the match for me.
Yeah, it was alright at first, and then it trailed off.
It was clunky. But I mean, of course, there's a different level of clunky in backyard. Okay, clunky means you just miss a fucking spot or forget what you're doing completely. I think was it JC Extreme forgot his spot. He just turned around on the ropes and just waited. I think for JJ Escobar, if I got that correct. And then of course, here's the thing: they're talking about this extreme match, fatal four-way for 2 championships, and then you look at the setting, it looks rough, it looks rugged. We have this bus that's missing a tire, it's missing a wheel, it's like just lifted up, and a lot of just junk cars around, but also forests and trees. It was really beautiful. It's kind of weird setting. And then we get to the ring, right? And in the middle of the ring, underneath the tarp, there's just like a visible spot of an elevated pad. So like instantly, like I'm getting the words extreme and the words we're trying to be safe here. So I was kind of thrown off, but I'm glad they're trying to be safe, you know. But just that pad in the ring was just like, oh man, it's just sticking out. And yeah, and these guys generally, like, they were pretty gentle with the cookie sheet. They were gentle with the chair. Although there was one headshot. They were gentle with, we had an ankle shot that was sold, like, really well. Like, it was literally a cookie sheet hit an ankle. It was awesome. But the in-ring stuff, it was kind of clunky. The one thing I did like is that Escobar got out of the ring. He was just expecting for them to fight, you know? So I was like, hey, he's actually thinking. There's like... it's not just spots, you know. They're actually considering what they're doing. But then Escobar Wizard came right out, and Escobar ran back in, and instead of fucking with Wizard, he just went and punched Judas, which is kind of like, why? Okay, all right. So the in ring stuff for me was awkward. We had Judas just being awkward to me, just not saying I don't know. He just wasn't... He was really stumbling with his words and shit, just like I am right now. So it was a little awkward. Yeah. What did you think about the in-ring stuff?
As kind of that part was I kind of expected. I did like the little outside spot, the outside DDT on the plywood.
Yeah, which looked like it hurt JC Extreme more.
Right. I don't know, like the actual in ring was, I don't know, whatever. It was just the ropes weren't made to like bounce off of, really. So like you can't really run full force into them and bounce off them because they don't work that way.
But here's the thing, dude. I'm gonna give him credit in this portion of the match. I gotta give him credit for heart. Like it is clear that these dudes really just enjoy doing this, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even if it's clunky and stuff. So it was really like here. This is the problem I have with WWE as well. It's like you can tell when somebody's not natural, like they're constantly thinking about what they're gonna say, kind of taking a couple of moments, seconds, and kind of stumbling over their words. And I was really bothered by Judas. I was really bothered by him because on one hand, he's a big dude. He definitely looks like he belongs there. On the other hand, he was, I don't know, he was gentle. and just every time he talked, it was like, okay, now I say something, like
he wants to be on camera so bad.
he
When he
does.
finally gets onto it, he just like
He
freezes
does.
up.
But here, it's like, at least I still see their heart here versus WWE. It's like, it's almost like we hired a great athlete sometimes, and it's like you need to say this, and I don't believe you. So I did not believe
No.
Judas. Out of all these guys, I did not believe Judas the most. But of course, he lives up to his name, and from who he inherited it. Now this is where the match gets interesting because they start getting out of the ring and heading towards the bus. This is where the match gets fun, or well, interesting. That's where the ankle spot too is, by the way. So we got a bent cookie sheet barely grazing an ankle of JJ Escobar, and he sold that shit.
Yeah, that hurt. I felt
that
it.
that hurt. Yeah,
I had to get a bag of frozen peas
yeah, just
put
for
on to
JJ.
put on my ankle. My ankle hurt.
I'm just a sexy Kurt.
Sexy Kurt.
Oh man, I gotta do it. I make your ankle hurt. Oh man, but we get to the bus, man. We're climbing that bus, and so you got. I think this was again JJ Escobar is climbing a bus, and he gets to the edge of the bus, and now he figures out that he kind of trapped himself. And this is I just want to say that this is a repeating pattern in the match. So I have to question JJ Escobar's decisions, or I have to question his reasoning for decisions to begin with, and we'll get back to that once he starts climbing the roof of the house. But he gets caught. So you have what? You have Jamal the Wizard and JC Extreme are up on the roof, and so
I thought for sure it was gonna be JC Extreme going off the bus.
well,
I thought he was gonna be the one, but he wasn't.
no, it's JJ Escobar went down,
JJ
and so
Escobar.
yes,
JJ Escobar.
Escobarby. That's right. I have it written down. JC Escobarby. That's what that lady called him. There's a
Yeah.
very vocal lady in this match, which was fantastic. With a cane, and she called him Escobarby. She was loud, and then towards the second half, there was a guy, that sounds like once again not hillbillies. What's that cartoon that you were talking about? Squidbillies. Squidbillies. it like she sounded like the grandma, right? You said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that dude sounded like well, he sounded like Dale from what's the that Judge show? I'm drawing a blank right now. The propane guy, Hank, I think.
Hank.
Yeah.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, yeah. He sounded like Dale, just more aggressive. It was they were fun to listen to, man. They made the match. They for sure made
They
the
were
match.
fun. They were fun.
But I gotta go back to the table, bro. I gotta go back to that one table set up,
Mm-hmm.
with a mattress underneath.
Yeah.
And this was not even a twin mattress. This is like a single mattress. And this guy's falling off a bus.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah.
And so we talked about this in our watch long, but I'm going to mention it again. So these tables are basically table legs and boards screwed onto the table legs, because it is obvious that they break a lot of tables, because they have figured out that they can't just keep buying new tables.
Right.
Yeah, so they're screwing on tape to the legs. I don't know. Maybe they're just taping them. I don't know. Considering how well they stood when they went through the tables, the legs, they were adhered on there somehow. And I'm
Right.
wondering,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm wondering how they screwed them in. Had they screwed them in upwards into the wood, which would be foolish, maybe down, and they just use screws instead of they use bolts instead of screws. I don't know. But I mean, it looked like they were trying to save some money, and I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, I thought about that. I'm like, these boards, how are they attached to the legs? And is it this potentially? Well, I wondered. I was like, is this potentially a stupid decision? And if it is, then
Yeah.
it raises the stakes of the match, and not because of the show, but because of, like, you guys can legit get hurt here, and I mean, falling off the bus, you can
Mm-hmm.
legit get hurt. But he landed on his legs, so that was all right.
That was still. I mean, that was still a hard fall, though.
Oh, it was a hell of a hard fall.
Yeah.
I fell for his knees, man. I was like, oh shit, dude, those knees. If you watch the trailer for these guys on their YouTube channel, it looks like Escobar takes a lot of stunts, or what they call themselves stunt. Okay, see, that's another thing I appreciate. It's they call themselves,
Yeah.
they have stunts in their show, and it's like, yeah, well, I know what to expect, you
Right.
know. But
Right.
the smartest part of the match came right after, and that's when Judas, who just calmly waited
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom, he just pinned
Yeah.
Escobar for 1, 2, 3, and he got
Oh,
himself
yeah.
their hardcore championship, or dynasty championship.
Yeah, that was smart.
I haven't, like, I don't think I've seen that level of, well, I'm exaggerating, but like, I'm always looking for that in, like, WWE matches, you know? I'm always looking
Yeah.
for the,
I mean, it's okay. It
yeah, it's I look for those. I
was
don't see a lot of those moments.
it was surprising. It was something like it totally makes sense that you weren't expecting. Yeah. Something that's actually that's match awareness.
That is literally it. And they had it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things you can bitch about in backyard wrestling, but that was awesome. That was a great moment. That was
Yeah,
smart.
when there's backyard wrestling and like you're like reviewing it or whatever, I mean,
Yeah,
you have so much leeway to it.
you absolutely do. You absolutely do.
You know,
But I'm still gonna voice things like, this, there's really not a ton that bothers me. Although
chair,
now that I say
chair
that,
shots to the back.
there are a fair amount of things that bother me. Never mind. I cannot lead that. I cannot say that. That's bullshit. Oh, insincerity is at the top of the list. Let's put it that way. Like, if I don't believe you, I really get out of the moment, and I don't care if it's like the professionals or backyard wrestling. And
Mhm.
Judas really bothered me with that. But then he went and made that fucking move.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like, damn it, Judas, you're just confusing me, bro. You're confusing me. Right, and we have a
Yeah, I
new
got you.
dynasty hardcore champion, and
Yeah,
yeah,
can't deny that. So
so gets his. Oh, okay, all right. So that, and then we kind of get into this muddiness of the beginning of the match. Which you didn't
mhm.
really know who was, like, they were just kind of trading blows, and there was no rhyme or reason as to why they were doing things. So it kind of got muddy again. Around they went to the car, and they're not next to a car because there's a big car spot coming, and they're slamming each other on the hoods. JJ Escobar gets his hand slammed. Sorry, guys, if you can hear
I
that.
feel like that. I feel like that hurt.
Yes. Well,
I
so he
mean,
put his hand in. So the Jamal the Wizard lifted the hood and put his and Escobar kept his hand right at the junction there where it closes, and he got his hand slammed, and it looked like it really hit his hand,
I think it did.
and so I was confused again. I'm confused because some of these, like the cookie sheets, were like they were so ginger with them. The chair shots were so ginger. We had one shot
Right.
to the head, but it was at the top of the. I mean, once again, it was ginger. And then you have this where he just like slammed the hood on his hand, and it's like, all right, I don't get it, but okay, awesome. That was definitely like, oh shit, like you could have fucking really hurt him. Either that or they did a great job hiding it, but it clearly looked like it hit his hand.
Head injuries are far more dangerous than hand injuries.
That well, it kind of true, but if you lose your freaking fingers, that's pretty serious too, you know? Because
You can't scratch your head when you have an itch.
or you can't do any. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to learn how to use the other hand, basically. Huh?
He was a, it's all right. Escobar's a lefty anyway.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next spot comes to the window, and that was once again, that was kind of weird. I I don't I don't think that wasn't a rigged window.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Yeah,
Well,
because it broke. It broke really clean.
yeah, it shattered. But I think car windows are designed to shatter anyway. I think safety wise. But we all saw what happened to Goldberg. You know, that's how I know the dangers of trying to punch through a car window or kick through a car window, which is what JJ Escobar did. So he lined
Think
up.
for a second because like I never watched Goldberg. I had to figure out what you're referring to.
Oh,
I figured
jeez.
it out.
He,
I remember.
yeah, he was. I think it was NWO in the car. I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah, yeah, and
yeah.
he punched the window because he's a tough guy, and he uh, cut into his arm pretty bad.
Okay.
And so we have Jamal the Wizard is up against the window, and JJ Escobar takes a run, and Jamal moves out of the way, and JJ Escobar goes right through the back car window. So they're down to 3 windows now that they can kick through. They got the back and front windshield. So um, I think they have to ration. I mean, you know, they have to ration those windows. But he kicked it, and
All right. Should
that was danger.
before they use another Corolla.
Well, yeah, there was a few Corollas around, so
Yeah,
Toyota for
you
the
got
win here.
you got 6 windows before you need another car.
Maybe they can start kicking through the. They'll just have. I don't know. Can they kick through the bus windows? I have to kick from the inside. Or maybe they don't want to break those because that's their like locker room. Um, well, it just goes. It's muddy after that again. It's just back and forth. You know, they're all trying to get an upper hand. Judas gets. What does he get? Choke slammed through. I
Yeah,
forget.
it was like more like a body slam
Body slammed through a
through,
table.
through a table by. Apparently, I think I heard the lady say, "Whoa, what's the neighbor doing here?" I think she referred to him as the neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but some random guy,
Yeah.
kind
He
of
just
like
showed
Mr.
up.
Hardcore, she showed up, but he actually did something.
Yeah. He just
Um,
showed up and slammed Judas through a table. And this was the last time we saw Judas until the post end of the match. So
He was out. He
he
was
was
out like
out.
a red. He was out like Earl Hebner
I
getting
guess
flicked in the ear.
he just decided, I got one fucking title. I don't want to defend two. Can you imagine having to defend two titles?
Yeah, he's he's not he's not he's not he's not cocky.
No, he's not. He's not greedy either. He's a smart guy. Well, so far he's made the smartest decisions in the match, really, if you think about it. Even though I still have issues with insincerity when he's talking, but he's made the smartest decisions. He got slammed through a table. He's like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm out. I'm done. I got one title. This is gonna be like a nightmare to defend twice. I have to fight two matches at every pay-per-view. Nah. So he just disappeared. Um, and then we have
Yeah,
the spot. This is what I was talking about with JJ Escobar. I have to question his decision making because he got stuck on the roof of the bus, and he just went up a roof of a house. He climbed on top because this is like a 2-level, 3-level house. So he climbed all the way to the top, and then he went around to a ladder that was
the
already there.
hell of a chimney.
Yep. Hey man, it works. Yeah, on top of a roof with a chimney, and then he went. There's a ladder just waiting for them on the other side,
Yep.
and he climbed down that ladder, and then he went to the edge of the roof
No,
on the second
there's
level.
nowhere.
That's right, and he found himself caught again. So he was caught again, and it's like, okay, first time, shame on you. Second time, starting to if he walks like a duck. Um, I just I
It's
thought it
probably
was
a goose.
hilarious, huh?
So it's probably a goose.
Well, either way, our friend JJ Escobar has found himself on top of a roof in a pickle again. So
It's his own fault to not be able to be on the offensive though. No,
you know,
he's
I don't know what to say. JJ Escobar is a brave man, but he gets caught on roofs, and I think at this point he should reevaluate. Like he should really have like a plan of attack where he goes. Um, however, what's it? Jamal the Wizard follows him, and so they
yeah,
battle up there. I think JC Extreme's just sleeping, or he's just waiting. JC Extreme is pulling Judas.
he's down there hanging out with Spike Dudley.
That's right. He's hanging out with the ref. We haven't even spoken about the ref. Uh, I think the referee is the one who's kind of like showing us um, where we are in the setting of this match. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just he was wearing camo, like a camo shirt and camo pants. It was a very interesting choice for a referee. Okay. And somebody else called him Spike Dudley.
Yeah, that's why I saw that in the comments before we started watching. Um, so the comment was so glad to see Spike Dudley doing what he loves still. Even though he's the ref, happy for him.
It was kind of like Spike Dudley, younger, but at the same time, a little bigger than Spike Dudley. So, I don't know, man. The ref was non-existent in this match, so he gets no toilet paper rolls for me. I think he was just kind of like really a front row seat.
He wasn't.
He, he,
His timing was off.
yeah, and
All those 1 counts should have been at least 2.
Hey man, 1 counts are cool. We're all right with 1 counts. 1 counts they need to come back, especially at the beginning of matches. I remember seeing the ref tapping on the roof of the Corolla where they were fighting when JC Extreme got pinned, and he kind of like he tapped it like he was just so gentle. He was
He
so
didn't want to
gentle.
break.
He
He
didn't want
didn't
to.
want to break the car.
That's right. That's right. And I was like, it was so funny to feel that, to feel that, to see that. We have the big spot now. We got the gigantic spot off the top of the roof through 2 tables onto some. I think this is where all the mattresses went.
That's what this is what JC Extreme was doing.
Yes.
He was gathering all the mattresses on the compound.
This does look like a compound, doesn't it? A P.O.R Wrestling compound.
Yeah, there we go. If you're listening to us, you should call it that.
The P.O.R Wrestling compound. You know, this is a hell of a bump.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Once again, kind of landing on the feet a little bit. But there was a table. There's actually 3 tables. There was 1 table in the front and 2 tables stacked on top of each other in the back. So either they've done some of these stunts before, which from their trailer it looks like they have, and they planned it, or they just kind of. Oh no, this was obviously planned, but it was a hell of a bump, man. Off the roof, on the back. There goes Jamal the Wizard. So at least this time, JJ Escobar got the upper hand and did not get screwed by himself. So,
but Mr.
That's right.
JC Extreme was down there to try and capitalize on that and try and get the pin.
That's right. Good old JC Extreme making a smart move, but it didn't work. Because guess what? JJ Escobar came flying down. So
he did. He landed right on top of Jamal. So.
Yeah, so it worked. It worked. And the match is still going. And that's all the notes I have. It stopped there. Yeah, I still have it. I have more notes about the confusion of JJ Escobar.
Let's see, because he was gone. Even when they the fight continued, he kind of went back towards the car, but the table that Judas went through is there broken, but Judas is not there.
Judas was gone. Yes,
he disappeared completely. It looks like it seemed like JC hit Jamal the Wizard with his finisher, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Little running cutter kind of sorts, RKO. And then I didn't catch the name, but JJ Escobar's possible tag partner.
That's right. That's right. So
ended
the
up
guy
showing up there, and yeah.
Well, he showed up in the beginning of the match, and then he
Right.
was like, "Oh, I can't go," and then he walked back and with the sticks. Like I don't know where the sticks went, and then he showed up. Now he's back with the sticks. Or with
JC Extreme hits his finisher, goes for the pin, but JJ Escobar's buddy there pulls him off and covers him, prevents him from moving and
interfering. Yeah,
JJ Escobar ends up pinning Jamal.
That's right.
And becoming the P.O.R Heavyweight Champion.
That's right.
And it was weird though when he got to the 3 count, and Escobar kind of like jumped off him, like, like as if like Jamal had like kicked out and pushed him up in the air. That's what it looked like. But
Well,
Jamal didn't move.
I mean, I was okay with that. It was
Oh
really
yeah,
like
it just looked funny.
it was
The
it was.
first thing he did was flip off JC Extreme.
It was. You know
We have
what?
two new champions.
Two new champions.
Two new champions.
There was some very
It-
smart decisions.
yeah,
Um,
for 34 minutes, whatever that was. I mean, that was good. It was entertaining.
it,
I was expecting it to be like jackassy.
yes, and it
Yeah.
was. So here's the thing, like, once again, the confusion comes in because it seemed like they were pretty cautious. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I mean,
just overall they were
dangerous.
dangerous, but also it's like, look, it didn't it not all of it, like, so the mattress in the ring, all the mattresses under the two tables, um all the gingerly done hits, and then you got that dispersed with some very kind of dangerous kind of areas, which was the table just under the bus, which,
Mhm.
dude, one of those single mattresses. Let me tell you something. I took bumps on those mattresses, and it's like nothing.
Oh
Like
right, yeah.
putting a fucking mattress on the ground is not a whole lot. You need like three, maybe four mattresses to get an effect. Like, because just your momentum and your weight goes right through, man. You hit the ground. Okay? So bean bags were better. Like, even flat bean bags were better than mattresses. I know mattresses were awful, and so that looked like a very dangerous spot. The hand spot was pretty dangerous. The glass spot was pretty dangerous. Yeah, the bump off the roof, because he was facing. He went with his back first. So
I mean, but those are. I mean, now you
sit.
think about it, those are more the stunt.
Yeah,
Like they're more confident doing stunts
yeah,
to themselves than they are to other people.
yeah.
You know, the falling off the house. That was just him falling.
We
It wasn't.
see. To me, a stunt would be like, okay, there's no mattresses here. We're just gonna set up more tables, but
Uh,
well, once again, they're working with what they have. I understand. I get it.
I,
I just
I'm
found it
not.
very interesting.
I'm not gonna be doing it.
Nope, nope. That is
And
true.
I mean, like when they
That's
fall,
true.
like
Good point.
falling on their feet,
Yeah.
go for it. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not falling on my feet.
Like I'm not.
I'm not falling on my back. I'm not falling.
I, I wouldn't be able to. I couldn't do that. I can't even. I can barely dive headfirst into a pool, like without doing a belly flop.
Well, this match must have been good enough because we're doing 38 minutes of it, so it's longer than the match itself, including the entrances.
I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah. It's like there's just. I mean, this kind of shows like there's just so many already different. There's so many subcategories to backyard wrestling.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so long as it's in the backyard, it's
Yeah, I
wrestling.
guess so. But you have like your different levels of like,
Oh, absolutely.
because when you think backyard wrestling, you think hardcore, and then you also not now you're also thinking like just like complete chaos and just like blood everywhere and just like I'm sure we'll be watching some like that. That's what I was kind of expecting. I didn't see any of this video prior, but I saw like the all I saw was the bus.
Well,
Right away, I'm like, okay, well, this is yeah,
I think it's worth mentioning that Roman Reigns made an appearance,
yeah. I mean, like,
but he wanted to stay incognito, so he watched from the bus.
yeah, his music didn't play.
No, well.
you're not allowed to come out unless you're music.
That's not true. Maybe in P.O.R. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the ending after the pin, you have Judas. He's just chilling
That's
in the
part.
back. He's just chilling.
That's
Doesn't give a
part of the
fuck.
whole thing.
Yeah.
It was the last 15 seconds.
Judas just chilling. Um, like he definitely was just like, I don't give a fuck, man. I got a title, and so he goes to lift Escobar's hand, and Escobar pulls back, and so Judas flips him off, and gives us cuts us a promo about how weaselly Escobar is, and he always gets through his hands, and he will get to him. While Escobar is still right there. That's like I want to like
Say
Judas.
it
I
out
want to
loud.
like Judas. You can tell he's nervous, but it's like whatever. I'm giving Judas credit. I'm sorry. Sorry Judas. I held you up to a standard I hold up
You-
WWE wrestlers.
You know what it was though?
What?
He's waiting for this moment. he's, he is so set on these last 10 seconds. He is like, the camera's on him. He's just like, oh no, not time yet. I can't. He's holding all of his everything for the last 10 minutes of this video.
Nervous.
He has a promo,
That's right.
and Jamal the Wizard gets in the face of the camera and says, the nightmare isn't over yet.
Yes.
And then you got Judas gets on camera. He says, Escobar, you know you're a coward. Every time my hands are around your throat, you just weasel and squeal, run away like a little mouse. He said, I'm lying. I'm an animal. I'm going to find a way to destroy you.
Ah,
And he
brilliant.
just walks away.
Brilliant.
That was his moment.
Brilliant.
He can't put all the extra stuff he has into the match. He's got to save it for that promo.
Yeah. That was
I
brilliant.
mean,
You delivered it
you-
well, bro. Did you write
yeah,
that down?
No, I was just replaying it,
Oh, okay.
and I could hear the monotones.
Gotcha.
I was just repeating what he said. Oh,
Well, you delivered
but
it well, bro.
he got put through the table so hard that he forgot his lines. So he left. He went back to the bus and rehearsed
You think that's
his
what
promo.
happened? Because he was chilling by the bus. Dude,
Very well could have.
yeah.
So,
Wow, I didn't. I was just like, why the fuck is he chilling by the bus? Like, to me, it was just like, hey, this dude's like, he's like, yeah, I'm cool with the one title.
he
I'm
probably
cool.
had the same notebook as you. Got out of the bus and just read it over and over for 10 minutes.
Oh man. Well,
I'm a lion.
That's right.
I'm the animal. You're a mouse. You're not an animal.
Maybe that's why he was struggling to deliver it, is because he memorized it. And maybe
That's all he had on his mind.
that seems to be the same issue with WWE.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's like his spirit is sincere. You know what I mean? His intentions are sincere. So it's like while he bothered me, I still I just don't hold him to that expectation, you know?
You don't know him.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know him personally. I just know his character. This is about characters. We don't know these gentlemen personally.
It's a freaking minister.
Hey, how many
But
toilet paper rolls you giving this one?
like part of me wants to go higher than 4. I'm gonna stay at 4.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna go
enjoyed
with
it.
I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
3. I'm gonna go with
It's like
3.
one of our previous reviews. I gave a 4,
Yeah.
but like this is a different. I would put this in a different category.
Yeah, it's a different
Of,
a different 4. I understand that. It's a different 4.
yeah, so there's a different, not, I don't want to say expectancy, but like after watching it, there's a different understanding of the 2 different matches that we watched. So like if I put it, if I'm giving it toilet paper bowls in that category, I would probably still give it. It was entertaining. It was good. Um, JC Extreme definitely was in there with the moves. And then the rest were just pretty much just punches and kicks and slams and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, it was good. We got the fan interactions. What I liked about it was there wasn't an over excess of weapons.
The only reason I'm going 3 here is because for some like I expect, I don't know why, but I see these guys and I see their fire. I see their fire, and I kind of expect more. Not necessarily in spots. What I expect from them for some reason. Well, not for some reason, for their fire, man. That's why I expect it. Um,
Their entrances were good as far as what I picture for backyard wrestling. But then once they got into the ring and started their ring work, went down. Like they
um,
kind of their entrances didn't match their ring work. So once I started seeing how they were in the ring, um,
yeah, but that's part of it. But it's like they could have cleaned that up. And of course, like this has been, I don't know when was
man,
this submitted. Um,
2018
two
was the day
2 years ago, well, 3 years ago. Okay,
four,
2018.
couple
Okay,
years ago.
all right. So I mean, they could have cleaned it up. It was kind of, it was muddled and dragging on in the ring and between the spots, like in over there by the car. It kind of dragged on a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
the biggest thing I actually like, I see their fire, so I expect more. It's not the spots. I don't. It's not about the spots. The spots are fine. If you made those mattresses just a little neater somehow, that would look cooler. But also, I think the cookie sheets would have been fine. If you just hit somebody once or twice with it, that's it. Uh,
Jada, the best hit with the cookie sheet was on the outside.
the ankle.
JJ Escobar, yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, after he got hit on the ankle, and
Yeah, he
the
sold that ankle like a boss.
shot that he gave to Judas, that was a pretty stiff shot.
But that's it.
Uh,
That's just it. Like, they didn't need as many of those. Like, you didn't need as many moves on the outside. Just
well, no, well, that's the thing. That's where they're more of dumb people than they're using weapons.
stunt people versus wrestling people. But dude, I would have. because of their fire, I expected more, and I that's their fault, because they really sold it. They sold it. They sold it on their fire, bro. So that's why I went with 3 stars. Otherwise, it would have been 5. If just on the entertainment value alone, it would have been
You
5.
skip 4 completely.
Yes, yes. No, no 4, no 4. It would have been 5. It would have been off the charts. But three to me is like, you could do better. 4 means, hey, you're close. Uh,
I'm also saying, hey, 35 minutes of I watched it all.
I did too. You're absolutely right. I did.
That,
I was
that says a lot for me.
entertained.
Yeah,
I was
the
entertained. Those
names, we actually like knew who the people were.
absolutely, and that's what I mean. They're fire. Like I believe them. You know,
Yeah.
I have a little bit of issues with Judas, but that's it.
I wonder what JJ Escobar looks like.
That's great.
Mask.
That yeah. We don't need to know. He's like a superhero, or he's like a lucha, a hardcore lucha stunt wrestler. Um,
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, man. I definitely enjoyed it. I expect
It
more.
was there, right? I mean,
Not more stuff, but I expect better. And but I can't define it. So like I will have to say that it's just the muddled portions of the match. Like simplify, because it's obvious that we couldn't keep up to like every single spot. We missed some shit, okay, and we stumbled over some shit. Granted, they kept a lot of spots, man. It's like I feel like I'm just talking around myself in circles and trying to justify my 3 toilet paper rolls instead of, because it was entertaining, man. I was thoroughly entertained, and in a 34 or well, this was what 25-minute match maybe, because the entrances and the last part is probably a 20-minute match. But
no,
still, it was okay. 25.
I wouldn't. Oh, it was good. It was decent.
You know, it was decent. You mentioned during our watch along Edge and Randy Orton, and that
That's
was
20,
well,
2020.
that was 44 minutes,
Yeah, something like that.
and
Actually, I think it might have been like 36 minutes or something.
well, either way, that match felt like forever.
Right.
I mean, it felt like forever, bro. And these guys, it did not feel like forever. It was thoroughly entertaining. So my 3 star, my 3 toilet paper rolls just feels like I'm being stubborn,
Let's see,
and
we got
I want more from you guys. I know you can do better. I know you can do better, and with less stunts, less. Well, if you're stunt people, what am I saying? But if you care about the match, we can clean a lot of shit up, and I believe in you guys. I totally believe in you because this was very entertaining. Do you
so
see that? It's like a parent thing. I don't know what the fuck.
from the first punch to the final 3 count
Yeah.
was roughly 27 minutes.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That was way better than Edge and Orton.
Yeah. I mean that's like one match of a gauntlet match on Raw.
Yeah. Well, these definitely more entertaining. There's shit that their lives were on the line in some of these parts, you know, and they definitely have the fire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I
There's
went with
passion.
3 toilet paper rolls. You guys have passion. You guys are entertaining.
You know what?
I'm
They
expecting more entertainment from you, and I'm also
should have
expecting
ate soon.
cleaned up, a little more cleaned up. Dude, I think I'm just being stubborn. I'm really just being stubborn.
Okay. Well, they should have ate earlier.
This
If they ate earlier than when they did, the grill wouldn't have been still hot. They probably would have used the grill.
Yeah. Well, the grill was there, and then the grill was gone. But very enjoyable match.
Blame it on Judas. Judas took away the grill.
It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. It was entertaining.
I was having fun. I was laughing throughout the thing.
This was better wrestling than what I've seen in a little while.
Yeah. Okay. This whole night. Wow.
So, sorry if I'm hitting this cord, man. I don't know if you can hear me hitting the cord. I apologize if I did.
Only when you pointed out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll listen to this video. Hopefully it's not too bad. But hey, we're the Jawbers. That is Jawbers. And this has been Jawbercue. This is our portion.
Jawbercue.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. I'm Max Jaw, and the gentleman is Mr. Big D. And we thank you. And hey, shout out to P.O.R Wrestling. You guys are, that was entertaining, man. Thank you. We'll be watching more. And check us out at jawbers.com or thejawbers.com. And we're also The Jawbers on Instagram.